In the drugstore and beauty supply stores, there are so many options for lashes. I know it can be overwhelming to try to pick out the right look. Well, I want to try to give you a little bit of guidelines just to help make it easier for you to find the right lash. So one of the first things to ask yourself is, do I want length? Or, next question, do I want volume? Or, hey, do I want the best of both worlds? So let me show you a few styles, and all the lashes I'm going to show you are from Kiss. And I like Kiss because they're very easy to get. They're in almost all the beauty supplies, almost all the drugstore, and they have a wide variety of different lash styles. All right, so the first one I'm going to show you, this is for somebody who's looking for length. All right, so this is the style. It's called So Real. And if you look at it, it's a little bit spiky, but it does have pretty good length, but it's not really dense. So this is definitely going to give you the length, but it's not going to give you a whole lot of volume. So this is great for someone who's comfortable wearing lashes because it is long. It's not the longest that I've seen from this brand, but it is pretty long, and it does have a little bit of curl to the end. So it's curly, and the outer corners are a little bit shorter. The center is longer, so this one's definitely going to place more emphasis on the center of the eye. Very flirty, I think, with this lash because, you know, you can kind of do your blinking because the emphasis is on the center of the eye with this style. But this is great for somebody who wants, again, just want to get length, but you don't want it really full. This one's called So Real. All right, now my eyes, I actually have a good marriage of length and volume. The style I'm wearing is called Pompadour. And if you look at it, it is kind of like a mid-range of fullness, but with the length, it's shorter on the inner corners and it gets longer on the outside. So this is a style that is also very curly. So if you like a curly lash and you like that cat eye effect, because it's shorter in the middle and it gets longer on the outside, this is a great lash to wear for a cat eye. It kind of elongates the eye, so I like the effect that it gives, but it's not overwhelming because right now you see the lash, but the lash is not all you see on my eyes. And so if you go too thick, that can kind of be the effect that all you see is the lash. You don't really get to see the rest of the eye makeup. So that's why I like these happy mediums. And because it's curly, I kind of like how it works well with a wing. So this is a style you might want to consider, and it's called Pompadour. Mid-range, best of both worlds. Now around Halloween, you're going to see a lot of variety packs, and I'm starting to see them a little more common now. But this is one of those packs that has a good little variety. And this is for somebody, I think, who's more comfortable wearing lashes, not necessarily a beginner, because it does have some fuller styles. So this one, the top one, okay, that one is called Hollywood. Now, I think this is a good marriage of the length and volume because it's spiky. Where you see those darker areas, that's going to be your volume, but then you also have what looks a little bit less dense. That's your length, and this one is shorter in the middle and gets longer on the outside. So this is also a nice one to have with the cat eye, but it's a little bit more dramatic, but it doesn't take you too far over the edge. So this is great compared to the one I was showing you, the Pompadour. This is a little bit thicker. So if you're more comfortable, you want something a little bit fuller, but still not completely into the super thick lashes, that style Hollywood would be a great one for you to get. Now in the middle, this one is called Charmeuse. C-H-A-R-M, like Mary, E-U-S, like Sam, E. And that one is your true Bambi effect. You really get the length. It's very low density, so it's not going to be necessarily the first thing someone sees because it's not really thick, but it is very long. And there's not much of a difference from the outer corners to the center in the length. So this is your true Bambi effect. If you really love long lashes, but you don't want them full, that's a great one for you. You get Charmeuse, and then on the bottom here, Cashmere. Now that's more of an evening effect, I would say, because it is thicker and it is long, but it also has that bling. You see, it's got rhinestones on it. So I feel like this is great for evening, not necessarily a day lash, but it depends on what kind of work you do. You may be able to go to work with a lash like this, but for most of us, or the rest of us, I should say. This is probably a nighttime effect, more of a specialty lash, but I definitely love that bling. But you get the length, you get the volume with this one, and it is slightly shorter on the inner corners, but this really does retain a good amount of length if you're somebody who likes that best of both worlds. Now, you could always call a beauty professional like me if you want help picking out the right lash, but those are the tips I have for you now on finding a lash. Next, we're going to talk about removal. All right, you are ready to take these lashes off. You have worn them all day, had fun, were super cute, but now it's time to go to bed and you're ready to wash your face. Okay, so simple to take them off. Now, this is for lashes that were put on with the standard latex glue. These were meant to be temporary, just for the day. I am not talking about the flares or the individual lashes that have been put on with a different type of adhesive. Strictly for the lashes that you wear for one day, the temporary ones. So don't try this with the other lashes because you won't pull your lashes out. So I'm telling you, stick to the day lashes for what I'm telling you about the removal. Now, if you want to use the lash again, it's best to take it off without using any type of makeup remover or any type of water, because sometimes when the lashes get wet, it will change the shape of the lash. When it dries, sometimes it'll dry straight or it'll dry in a different pattern, so you won't get the same effect that you had before the lash had any water come in contact with it. So if you did not put an excessive amount of glue on it, and you didn't because you watched my video on how to put the glue on your lash, all you need to do is just grab it and you're going to gently pull, okay? Now, depending on how sensitive you are, this could feel like pulling a Band-Aid off, so I want to caution you. So you're just going to go slow, okay? And you're just going to grab it and you're just going to pull, all right? And that's it. Came right off, all right? Gonna do the other one. Just gently pull. And that's all. Now, if you want to reuse the lash, here's the key. You're gonna have to clean off that excess glue residue because the lash is not gonna sit as flat if you leave that old glue on there. And this is where you have to be super careful. You are just gonna grab it in your hands, okay? Kind of like this. I was trying to think the best way to turn the camera, because you wanna make sure you can see that band, and then you're just gonna gently kind of massage it and try to pull that glue off, okay? But be careful doing this because you could very easily rip or tear the lash. So if you want to reuse it, you just have to gently pull that glue off, so that way you'll have the nice clean surface the next time you want to wear the lash. All right, now if you don't want to reuse the lash, then I recommend you either just wash your face, because once the water comes in contact with the glue, it's going to loosen the lash. Or you could get a cotton swab and then just kind of saturate it with a makeup remover that is non-oily, non-greasy. I mean, you could use one that's more greasy if you're not going to reuse the lash, but it might get a little bit extra oily in your eyes. So that's the reason why I say go with one that's oil-free. Put it on a cotton swab, saturate it, and then just massage it over the lash, over the base, and then it's going to start to loosen and come right off. And that's it. I hope these tips were very helpful for you. Let me know what you think. Ta-ta for now.